Good morning, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I know I'm down at the shop on Thanksgiving, but one of the only times I have a day off, so get some stuff done on Moonshine before we go eat a bunch of turkey and get all fat. So I'm gonna change the cam sensor, and hopefully that'll fix some of the issues. Because right now we're not using one, and I think it's pissed off about it. So I gotta check some of the wiring stuff, and I got a brand new cam sensor to put in it. So we'll see if that fixes it. It did work before, and then if you saw a long time ago when we did a wheelie, which kind of started this whole build in the first place, right after that it stopped working. So I had forgot about it. I forgot that I turned it off, and I think that's part of the issue with it. So I'm going to do that. Do a general health check on the motor. We need to get a couple things done turbo-wise. I need to change the O-ring on the mount because it's leaking. And then I need to try and get that scavenge pump on there. I'm going to try and have it out for Snowbird Nationals, which is next weekend. So we'll be racing the Camaro there with James, and Andrew will be down. So I'm going to try and bring this, kind of get it happy. Hopefully the motor is good. I did see a lot of boost last time out, which I'm okay with as long as it's okay with it. So saw about 40 pounds the last time. It started breaking up doing some dumb stuff. So I'm just going to go through the motor, check compression, do a leak down test, some of the other stuff. Just make sure everything is happy, healthy, and ready to go. So let's get to it. Also, here's a door that got ripped off. So we're going to try and fix that. I don't think the Lexan will be here by next weekend, but if we can get the door fixed and get some air from, I mean, it's pretty messed up, but I was told it's fixable. So got some stuff for them to fix it over there. See what happens. Hopefully they can fix it, because otherwise we're a good 6 weeks out, and the doors actually went up a whole lot more price than when I bought them. So if they can fix it, that'd be cool. If not, may put the steel doors back on it for now. We'll see. I gotta talk to TJ about his choice in football teams too. If you're a Steelers fan, I'm sorry. Here's something else that happened the last time out. All the boostesses is actually blew out the throttle body gasket. So that's one of the reasons I'm just gonna check over everything, make sure everything else is happy, make sure we ain't got no other boost leaks or anything bad happening. But yeah, was not happy about that. All right, so I want to test something here. A long time ago, see, nice and cold, ice cold. See how much fuel we got. Make sure we got the fuel. I actually saw, or was listening to, we should be able to start it, a Real Tuners podcast. Big Chief was talking, and he said, if you can start your methanol car without touching the gas or actually getting in the car to do anything, you're a gangster. So let's see. I haven't started this car in probably 2 weeks. I think I've been here maybe once the last month and a half. We've been that busy. So let's see. Got power. I haven't changed cam sensor yet. But let's just see. Turn the ECU on. Too hot. I kept hearing rattle. I was like, what is that? It's gas cap's loose. Look at that. Mechanical fuel pump. No primer pump. Methanol. Maybe one day we'll get Ruby to start like that. Because, that car That thing don't like Stardust. So the cam sensor off in that car, it does not want to run. See, just that little short amount of time, we got a little puddle in this Maven mount right here. The O-ring's got to be bad or something, so it's just dripping. So I'll change that. I want to get scavenge pump mounted down in that area so that it can actually push the oil back to the motor instead of blowing out of my exhaust pipe. Hopefully the turbo's not damaged, but we'll see. All right, got the cam sensor swapped. Got to get in here, turn it back on. If I remember correctly, though, I did try to fix this once, and the wires might be backwards, so it may not work the first time. I may have to play with it a little bit and switch the wires around. Sheesh, that's so much nicer in this car. No place like home, they say. All right, let's see what we got going on in here. I really want to get this car working like it's supposed to so we can go fast. All right. Hey, look, my truck that I have somewhere. All right. Ignition parameters. GM4X. Send that over. See if we got RPM. May have to switch some wires around, but let's see. Yeah, we're gonna switch some stuff around. All right, stand by. All right, so those are just stripped and twisted together. Let's see if we get the RPM signal now. If we do, we'll make that a permanent connection. All right, let's see if we got RPM. That's a big negative. All right. Now I'm gonna have to pull up a schematic. Problem was with this sensor before, it took me forever to figure out the actual wire configuration, and I don't remember what it was because this is an LT sensor. It's a little bit different, so stand by. Let me see if I can find all that stuff. I think I actually might have just found the problem. This here end right here was not actually in the crimp. It was broken out of the crimp and just in the wire, so that's probably what our issue is. So I'll fix that real quick and we'll see if it starts. All right, look up the Holley schematic. I think I have them wired right now. I forgot this car has like a cam extension harness because this harness, it's like a pre-made Holley harness just kind of slapped on there. But it was 24X. So this actually has an extension harness which actually flips the wires. So I had to go through and figure out what color went where. So now I'm pretty sure it's wired right, but we'll see. The GM like schematic for these is different because these motors come with variable valve timing, and usually they have a phaser on the front. So actually, like looking at their schematic, it doesn't really tell you which one's which, at least the schematic that I found. But let's see. All right, still doesn't sound 100% happy, and I don't have any CO2 in the car, so that's why I didn't want to get up on the brake real quick. But I got us at least a data log to look at, see what the fueling is. I imagine it's going to change a little bit, so we'll take a peek at that, and then I'll let that cool back off. I want to pull all the plugs out, do a check on everything. Oh, I actually do have a CO2 bottle here. Wonder if it's full. Anyhow, I don't know if you could hear it on the last one. It started doing its little breakup thing, but I think the fueling is just kind of like whack. But we'll take a peek at that. All right, so I was wrong. It's got like a little mist to it, which we got to figure out. That's what I was doing last time out at the track. I was hoping cam sensor would help, which I'm sure it will. But you can see, I don't know if you can really tell. Let me put this back on. You can see the closed loop did try to do some stuff. That's the blue line right here. So when I first tipped in, it tried to add a bunch of fuel and it tried to rip it out, and then it just made it super, super rich down here. Actually, I take it back. Let's see. We'll run through the whole thing real quick. Really wasn't bad. I mean, it was doing some stuff, but it wasn't terrible. So we'll have to smooth that out a little bit, get that transition right. It'll just help it come up quicker. It did come up and hit the chew step, you know. But it only made about 3.5 pounds. Kind of dead stop there. Oil pressure looks good, fuel pressure is good. So we'll go ahead and pull the plugs out, do a little health check on it, make sure everything's happy. Unfortunately, these plugs, I've pulled them before and you can't really read them. So we'll pull them out, take a peek at them, make sure our gap and all that stuff's good. We'll do a compression test, do a leak down test, and then hopefully it's happy. I do need to fix that oil leak though. It's just getting progressively worse, so yeah. the driver's side. I guess they pretty well look the same, except for this last one here. This one, the plug wire actually felt a little loose and it's a little sooted up, so maybe that was part of our issue, but go ahead and throw a fresh set in there. I actually forgot my compression and leak down tool. I thought I grabbed it, but I grabbed the wrong box, so I'll have to run home and do that. But being how it's Thanksgiving, I'll probably hang out with the fam for a little while. I may come back later tonight or just come back tomorrow. I gotta wire a couple things up. I gotta get some crimps and some heat shrink so I can fix the cam sensor properly, because right now it's just wired together just to make sure it's right. I need to get some for the line lock that I'm hooking up. That way I can do a proper burnout, and then I can enable it while I'm on the chip, so I can just creep the thing into the beams or just keep it from rocking. What else do we got to do? Compression test, leak down test, and then I'll pull this whole turbo get up off. We'll fix the throttle body gasket, fix the oil seal. I'm probably going to paint all this, clean it up, paint it, because that's one of the last things we had to do on this, and put the scavenge pump on. And if everything's happy there, try and possibly take it to the dyno. Just make sure everything's happy before we go out to the track, and see if we can do something for once with this car, because it seems to be fighting us every step of the way. I got it to go down the track, it was slow. Then I got it to short track, decent, and then it wouldn't go down the track. So that's where we're at right now. Frustrating. Everybody keeps asking me every time I go to the track, hey, where's your car at? And I'm like, you know what? It's in the shop, and it's not bothering me. But it is bothering me because I want to race this thing. So we got to get this thing right. We also still need to get the dashboard and the rear bumper on. And I do have a wing. You can kind of see right there, but I think I have everything for that except for the sides. So a few things we got to get on this car. Got new Lexan coming. We're going to re-Lexan the whole thing, because one of the side windows even has a little hole in it where we were rushing and didn't realize it. So while Donnie's doing the door, he's also going to do this piece here, and then we'll probably do something a little bit with the front bumper. I don't know about before this race, but I like to fix the front bumper and then redo the exhaust and bring it up just a little bit and bring it in a little bit so it's not sticking out so far. But yeah, I'm gonna go eat some turkey, some other goodies. I hope you guys are doing the same. Spend some time with your family, and happy Thanksgiving. All right, cam sensor is finalized. Got some nice lume on there, all wired up correctly. We got the line lock all wired in, nice TBM product. I replaced this coil that we fried. However, it actually ended up frying the plug. So I gotta take that harness off and fix that. And I'm gonna fix throttle body right now. I gotta take all this stuff off though, because we do have to replace that O-ring on the mount. And while that's off, I'm gonna try and figure out where exactly we can put the scavenge pump so we can get this thing to stop smoking. The oil pressure regulator that I put on the turbo helped, but it didn't fix it totally, so gotta get that scavenge pump on there. All right, guys, got our throttle body gasket replaced. I actually had one here, so good to go there. I was actually missing a bolt, so now it's got all the bolts in it. That's ready to go. We'll go ahead and pull the turbo off, clean up everything, downpipe, crossover tubes and all that stuff. Got the copper RTV on it, so I'll have to clean all that off, clean the turbo off. We'll get that O-ring replaced, maybe paint up a couple of these so they're not rusty, looking like trash. Alright guys, so this is the O-ring I was talking about here, which, come to find out, the turbo was actually a little bit loose, so I think it's time we nut and bolt the car. But downpipe, everything, I'm sorry, I keep calling it downpipe, the crossover tubes to the turbo, flange and everything was tight, but the second I loosened that up, this was loose, so this wasn't tightened up enough before that got tightened up enough, and then we got a leak. Alright, so next task before all this gets assembled is figure out where we can mount this scavenge pump, so we may end up having to actually put a bar in. But I'm thinking something like that. So we can come out of the turbo, go into the inlet right there, come out, go up over the rack, because the angle, not in our favor. Probably should have mounted the turbo just a little bit higher, and we probably wouldn't need that, but it is what it is. So I'll wait for TJ to get down here, because he's got a lot more fabricative mind than I do, and I could sit here and stare at this thing all day, and he could look at it for 5 minutes, figure out what he's got to do. So yep, we'll wait for him. I put the new O-ring in. Can do a couple things, clean up the tubes. We do need to plate this side. It's still got the old mount from the old core support, so cut that off, maybe get that plated, clean up the frame rails, give it a nice coat of paint, and should be good to go. That'll fix smoky turbo, leaky turbo. And then, yeah, we got some more stuff we want to do. I got some shock sensors coming. I do got to pin up the G meter, which I have, and drive shaft sensor. Get a couple things on this thing. That way we got some data that we can go off, because right now I got nothing. So, see what we can do. All right, got the G meter pinned in. I just need to get some Velcro. I'm going to stick it right here on the floor, facing that way, just like that. So, just need a little bit of Velcro. It said to use Velcro to help dampen it. So, we'll pick up a little bit of Velcro, stick that down, it'll be good to go. What else did we get done? We rewired the coils. Those are now to a 75 amp relay, like they're supposed to be and should have been. Anyway, let's see, what else do we got left? I think that was about it. Yeah.
The line lock, and we
Yep.
fixed the cam sensor,
Yep.
which was really screwed up.
And then, yeah, we just got to get the scavenge pump mounted, get the door fixed. Should be good to do some testing. Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. Just got to do the scavenge pump, and actually, I think I'm going to lower the car like an inch. So that's on the agenda. I might do that now, but we shall see. I want the back to sit down a little bit lower, and I don't have a lot of travel in the front, which we need. So, yeah, going to lower the car an inch. But we'll show you that in the next video. Get the scavenge pump on here. Try to get some testing before this next coming weekend. Like I said, we're going to be racing Snowbird Nationals. James is going to be driving the Camaro and Ultra Street, and I'll probably enter this in no time, just because I don't have some of the other stuff for the classes that you have to have. So try and get it out there, make some test reps. They have testing all week, so I'm going to try and get out there before the race, see what we can do. Hopefully, we have solved some of the issues that Moonshine has. We can get this thing to actually go down and go fast. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching. As always, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next episode.